So let's all come to the mat if you're not already lying on the mat. Knees can be bent, feet flat on the floor. You can allow the knees to fall in together and the feet can be a little bit wider apart, or you can just lengthen out the legs, palms facing the ceiling. Just a few breaths here, giving you time to switch off from your day. Just your normal breath. And just keep the awareness on the breath, the air flowing in and out the nose. This is your time on the mat, your time to be present with yourself. We should be starting our practice with our equal breath. On your next inhale, inhale for the count of 3. And then exhale for the count of 3. Inhale for 3. And exhale for 3. Carry on in your own time. The breath is smooth and flowing. So that inhale flows into the exhale flows into the inhale. And maybe stay with the count of 3, or maybe start to deepen that breath and inhale for 4, and then exhale for the count of 4. Check in that breath is smooth, flowing into the inhale flowing into the exhale. A few more rounds. And then we're all going to meet with our knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Slowly place the heel of the hands on your hips, fingertips pointing down towards your pubic bone. Maybe the thumbs are touching. Checking that the hips are level. And then just gently lower the lower back towards the floor and feel that pelvis, that pelvic bone point up. And then slowly come back to the neutral spine, hips are level. And then just slowly curl that lower back so the pelvis tilts down. And then very slowly and gently come back to that neutral spine. Check that the hips are level. Pelvis is in neutral. The hands can stay where they are, or you can bring them down towards the floor. Gently draw the lower ribs in towards the center line to activate the core. And then go back to your equal breath. Inhaling for 3, exhaling for 3. Inhale for 3, exhale for 3. And then just relax. Float the arms down by the side of your body. Palms can be in contact with the floor or facing up towards the ceiling, whichever feels comfortable for you. Activate the core, so draw the lower ribs in towards the center line. And then your next exhale, float the right foot off the floor so the right knee is in line with the right hip. And on your next inhale, float that foot back down towards the floor. Exhale, float the left foot off the floor, left knee in line with that left hip. Float that left knee back down towards the floor. Right side, exhale. Inhale, float the foot down. Exhale, float the left foot off the floor. Inhale, float the left foot down. 2 more each side. Keep it slow and controlled. Check that you're staying scooped up and in or drawing the lower ribs in. Last one. Slowly float that left foot back down. Bring the hands to the back of the head, interlace the fingers behind the head, and allow the head to fall into the back of the hands, elbows point up towards the ceiling. Scoop, draw the lower ribs in, check that you're not tilting that pelvis. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly curl up, come into your curl up, shoulder blades curl off the floor. Check that you're not pulling on that neck. And as you inhale, slowly curl all the way down. Exhale, curl all the way up. Check that you're not doming that belly. Inhale, slowly curl down. 2 more. Slowly come down. We're going to add on. Curl up. Float the right foot off the floor, right knee in line with the right hip. Float that right foot down, curl back down. Exhale, curl up, hold it here. Float that left foot off the floor. Float that left foot back down to the floor, curl down. Curl up, float the right foot off the floor. Float it back down, curl down. Check that you're still drawing the lower ribs in. Curl up, left foot float it off the floor. Float that left foot down. 1 more each side. Curl up, float the right foot off the floor. Float it back down. Curl down slowly. Curl up, float the left foot off the floor. Float it back down. Curl down slowly. Release the hands down by the side of your body. Check the feet hip width apart. Check that the pelvis is in neutral, hips are level. Gently draw the lower ribs in, activate the core. Activate the glutes and slowly lift the hips coming off the floor into a low bridge, maybe about 1 inch, half an inch. Check that the hips are level. You can manually place the hand on your body or just bring your awareness to the hips. Shoulder blades are on the floor. Check that the head and neck are nice and relaxed. Hold it there. And on your next exhale, slowly bring the back of the hips down towards the floor. Come into your neutral spine, hips are level. Exhale, activate the core, activate the glutes. Slowly float the hips off the floor. Maybe come up a little bit higher. Check that the hips are level. Check that you're not flaring out the lower ribs. Then float the arms off the floor. Maybe the fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling, so the hands and wrists are in line with the shoulders. Palms can face away or palms can face in. And slowly circle the wrists. Slowly change direction. Are the hips still level? Are the glutes still activated? Is the core activated? Slowly float the arms back down towards the floor. Keep the hips lifted. Slowly float the hips back down towards the floor. Float the right knee off the floor, knees in line with the hip. Float the left foot off the floor. Place the hands lightly on the knees. Hip circle. Left knee is going to come out to the left, right knee out to the right. So you're circling out and in. Slow and controlled. Out and then in. And then maybe go back to that equal breath, inhaling and exhaling for 3. Slowly come back to the knees in line with the hips and reverse the direction. And then just gently hug the knees in. Maybe stay still, maybe gently rock from side to side. And then slowly roll to one side. Slowly crawl yourselves all the way up. And we'll meet up in tabletop. Once you're in tabletop, check your base, spreading the fingers wide. Shoulders are over the wrists. Knees are underneath the hips. Check that pelvis is in neutral. Activate the core. Check that neck's in line with the rest of the spine, so you're not jutting the chin up or letting the head drop down. A few breaths here with that core activated. And then working with your own breath pattern, cat-cow. So on your next exhale, slowly round the spine, come into cat. And as you inhale, slowly uncurl through to that neutral spine. Keep the chest open, look down towards the floor. Try not to drop the belly too low so you're not overly arching that lower back. And then when you're ready on that exhale, slowly come into your cat. Two more. One more. And then slowly come back to that neutral spine, tuck the toes, activate the core, and then just slowly float the knees off the floor, about half an inch, hold it there, breathe wide and full. Check that the pelvis is neutral, shoulder blades on the back of your ribs, looking down towards the floor. And then from here, push the hips back and send them up and come into a bent leg down dog. So bend those knees, spreading the fingers wide, lengthen the armpits, head and neck are relaxed. Holding that bent knee down dog. And on your next exhale, slowly float the knees back down towards the floor, lengthen out that spine, tuck the toes. Activate the core. And then see if the elbow creases are pointing towards the front of your mat, spreading the fingers wide. And then slowly hover the knees off the floor, hold it here, equal breath. Inhale for 3, exhale for 3. Inhale for 3, exhale for 3, and push the hips up and back and come into your down dog. So maybe in this down dog you decide to stay nice and still. You can soften the knees if you need to. Lovely long spine. Weights equal between the hands and the feet. And then just maybe bend one knee, lift one heel, walk that dog out, or just stay nice and still. And then just come back to that equal breath, inhaling for 2, 3, exhaling for 3. And on your next exhale, slowly lower the knees to the floor. A few breaths here. Pelvis is in neutral, lovely long spine. Keep the toes tucked. Activate the core. Hover the knees off the floor. About an inch, half an inch. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 3. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 3 and push the hips up and back, down dog. And in this down dog, just gently walk the feet out so they're a little bit wider, maybe shoulder width apart, maybe as wide as your mat, whichever feels comfortable for you. Pushing the hips up and back, weight even between the hands and the feet. Check that the neck's nice and relaxed. Come back to that equal breath. Inhaling and exhaling for 3. And then from here, just gaze ahead to the front of your mat. Soften the knees. And then bring the right foot towards the outside edge of the right hand. The left foot forward. And then slowly keep the length of the spine. Slowly come up into that low squat. You can drop the hips back a little bit if you need to. Keep the core activated. Maybe stay still, maybe bounce. And on your next exhale, come all the way up. And then just gently heel toe the feet to about hip width apart. That feels comfortable for you. And maybe bring the hands through to heart center. Maybe have the fingertips pointing down towards the floor. A few breaths here. Checking that the crown of the head is rising up towards the ceiling. Your shoulders in line with the hips, the knees, the ankles. Knees are slightly soft. We'll be transitioning from standing down to the mat, hip hinging. So just to let you know, if you've not hip hinged before, you're going to soften the knees, hips float back, hinging from the hips, the chest stays open, and then you can bring the hands to the floor so that the shoulders are over the wrists and squat down, and then we'll step back. So when you're ready, standing up nice and tall, open the eyes if they're not already open, reaching the arms all the way up. Bring the palms together, and as you exhale, bring the hands through to heart center, hinging forward, keep that spine nice and long, leading with the chest, soften the knees, bend the knees, keep that spine nice and long, place the hands on the floor, step the left foot back, the knee touches the floor, slowly keep the length in the spine, keep that right foot tucked, toes are tucked on the floor, hold it here. Bring the hands to the shoulders and just do a few gentle shoulder rolls, fold back. And then slowly change direction. And then just release the hands, and as you exhale, soften forward, place the hands on the floor. Bring the right knee off the floor. Step the left foot back to plank. Lower both knees down towards the floor. Check that the pelvis is in neutral. Shoulder blades on the back of your ribs. Spreading the fingers wide. Check that the creases of the elbows are pointing to the front edge of the mat. Activate the glutes. Start to bend and soften the elbows so the elbows are coming back. Try not to hug the arms in towards the body. Slowly lower down. Keep the shoulders open. Keep the pubic bone in contact with the floor. Tops of the feet touch the floor. Check that the glutes are activated in the thighs so those legs aren't rolling out. And then just imagine that you're pulling back the mat with your hands. So you're not pushing down through the hands, you're pulling back. Check that you're not jotting that chin up. Neck stays along the rest of the spine. And we're in that baby cobra. Check in with the breath. And on your next inhale, activate the core, the glutes, push all the way up towards your knees, tuck the toes, push the hips up and back, down dog, and maybe just step the foot in, right foot in, left foot. Check that the weight's even between the hands and the feet, so you're piking your hips up. Go back to your equal breath, inhaling for 3, exhale for 3, inhale for 3, exhale for 3, and as you come towards the end of that exhale, slowly start to lower the knees down to the floor, step the right foot in between the hands, slowly come up, to your kneeling lunge, your kneeling crescent. Reach the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Bend the elbow, goddess arms, so you've got goalpost arms. And on your next exhale, hinge forward, fingertips come towards the floor. Push the weight down through that right leg, step the left foot towards that right foot. Lovely long spine, look down towards the floor, your hip hinging. Bring the hands through to heart, and then slowly keep the length in the spine, slowly come all the way up. Release the fingertips down towards the floor. Inhale, float the arms up and out, bring the palms together, and as you exhale, bring the hands down through to heart center, hip hinge, so softening those knees, floating the hips back, the core is activated, leading with the chest, lovely long spine. Plant the hands on the floor, step the left foot back, left knee touch the floor. Slowly, with a lovely long spine, come all the way up, keep the left toes tucked. Bring the hands towards the shoulders, and maybe make some bigger shoulder rolls. If you want to do one arm at a time, please do so. Or you can roll them both back at the same time, maybe bringing the elbows out to the side. Get those shoulder blades moving. Release the hands, and as you exhale, come forward. Bring the left knee off the floor. Step the right foot back, plank. Lower the knees to the floor. Shoulder blades are in neutral, pelvis is in neutral, core is activated, glutes are activated. Elbow creases, facing the front end of the mat, spreading the fingers wide. And on your next exhale, slowly start to bend those elbows. Elbows point back, pubic bone comes down on the belly, coming into a baby cobra, tops of the feet on the floor, inner thighs are activated, glutes are activated, look down towards the mat, pull that mat back, keep the chest open, shoulders back. And on your next inhale, keep everything activated, push all the way up to the knees, tuck the toes, push the hips up and back. Maybe shorten that down dog if that feels comfortable for you. Inhale for 3, exhale for 3. And just check the base of your down dog. Check that the head and neck are nice and relaxed. And at the bottom of your next exhale, slowly lower the knees to the floor. Step that left foot forward, slowly come up to your kneeling lunge. Float the arms and fingertips up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, goddess arms. And as you exhale, hinge forward, fingertips come to the floor, shift all the way onto that left foot, step forward, lovely long spine, so plenty of bend in those knees. Bring the hands through to heart, core's activated, squeeze with the legs, the glutes, release the hands. A few breaths here. We're going to add on to that. So when you're ready, inhale, float the fingertips all the way up. You can keep the arms extended, or you can bring the hands down through to heart center. Hip hinge to soften those knees. Remember, work with whatever feels comfortable with your back, either long arms or hands through at heart center. Slowly come down, bend the hands, bend the knees. Step back to plank. Lower the knees down to the floor. Pelvis in neutral, shoulder blades are in neutral, core's activated, glutes are activated. Slowly come all the way down into cobra, pulling that mat back. Check that you're not jutting that chin out. And on your next inhale, tuck the toes, push back up to the knees, push the hips up and back, down dog. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 2. Slowly lower the knees to the floor, step the right foot forward. I said inhale for 2, it should be inhale and exhale for 3. So I hope you were inhaling and exhaling for 3. Slowly come all the way up. Bring the hands to heart center. Keep the left toes tucked. Activate the core. And on your next inhale, slowly come all the way up. Float the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. And on your next exhale, come into crescent. Checking your base. You may need to bend that back leg a little bit more to keep that pelvis in neutral. Keep drawing the lower ribs in. Activate that left glute. And on your next exhale, come into your goddess arms. Hold it here. Nice long inhale. As you exhale, bend that left knee a little bit lower. You're really coming into a low lunge here. Inhale, exhale, bend that knee a little bit more so it's coming closer to the mat. And on your next exhale, allow that knee to come down to the mat. Hinge forward, place the right hand onto that right thigh. Check that the left shoulder is in line with the left wrist. Nice easy rotation. Allow the left ear to drop down towards the left shoulder. Just gaze down towards the floor. Hold it here. Bring the hands to your right hip. Right hand, right hip. Keep looking down towards the floor. You have the option of keeping the left lower leg in line, or you can stand it out. Because from here, we're going to push back so that the left hip's in line with that left knee. And then slowly bring that leg back, that right leg back, coming into a modified side plank. Keeping the right hand in line with the hip, you can adjust that knee, you can bring that left lower leg out. Keeping that right foot in contact with the floor, keep looking down towards the floor. Check in that the shoulder is in line, so make your adjustments here. Check in with the breath. Keep looking down towards the floor. And on your next exhale, just allow the right hand to float down towards the floor. Hips are square towards the mat. Squeeze that right glute. Float that right leg off the floor. Keep the length in that leg. Flex the foot. You have the option of keeping both hands on the floor, or you can bring that left arm up. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Check that you're drawing the lower ribs in. Slowly float the left hand back underneath the shoulder. And then just step that left foot forward, right foot forward in between the hands. Push down through that right foot, step the left foot forward. Lengthen out the arms and slowly come all the way back to standing. Bring the hands down through to heart center. Release the fingertips, point down towards the floor. Inhale, float the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, I'll bring the hands through to heart center or hip hinge with lengthened arms. Push the hips back, bend those knees. Plant the hands on the mat. Step the left foot back, right foot back, plank. Lower the knees to the floor. Activate the core, activate the glutes. Slowly lower down into cobra. Keep that pubic bone in contact with the floor. Tops of the feet in contact with the floor. Keep the glutes activated. Pull the mat back with the hands. Looking down towards the floor. And on your next inhale, tuck the toes. Push all the way up to the knees. And as you exhale, push the hips up and back into your down dog. Double check your base. Spreading the fingers wide. Lengthen out the armpits. The weight's even between the hands and the feet. Keep the breath equal in length. And at the bottom of your next exhale, slowly lower the knees to the floor. Step the left foot in between the hands. Slowly come up to that kneeling lunge. Keep the right toes tucked. Bring the hands through to heart center. Keep the core activated. And on your next inhale, slowly lengthen up. And as you exhale, come into your present. Check that the pelvis is neutral. Check that that right glute is activated. On your next exhale, goddess arms. Nice long inhale, and as you exhale, bend that right knee. Inhale, exhale. That knee comes down a little bit closer to the mat. And then your next exhale, allow that knee to touch the floor. And then slowly hinge forward, right hand comes towards the floor, right shoulder, right wrist. Bringing the left hand onto that left thigh. Allow that right ear to drop down towards that right shoulder. Just a nice easy rotation. Bringing the left hand to the left hip. Keep the core activated. Just push the hip back or bring the knee in so the knee's in line with the hip. Modified side plank. Keeping the left foot in contact with the floor. And then just adjust your base, checking that that shoulder's still in line with that right wrist. You can bring that right foot out towards the side to keep you more stable. Holding it here, relaxing the right ear down towards the right shoulder, just gaze down at the mat. And on your next exhale, release the left hand down. Come into tabletop. The left leg is still extended and you're on the left toes. Bring the shoulders over the hands. Activate the core. Activate the glute. Raise that left leg off the floor. Either stay here or maybe bring the right arm up. Opposite arm, opposite shoulder. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Bring the right hand underneath that right shoulder and then just step that left foot through. Step the right foot forward and then hip hinge all the way up to standing. Bring the hands down through to heart center. Release the fingertips towards the floor. Just close your eyes. A couple of deep breaths here. Slowly open the eyes. I'm going to add on. Inhale, float the arms up, all the way up. And as you exhale, hip hinge all the way down. So you have the option of bringing the hands through to heart. Place the hands on the floor. Step the right foot back, the left foot back. Plank. Now you can stay here in your high plank or lower the knees to the floor. Activate the glutes, activate the core. Pelvis is in neutral. And start to bend those elbows back as you lower all the way down to the floor. Pubic bone contact with the floor, tops of the feet. Look down towards the floor. Extend the arms behind you, fingertips pointing all the way back, coming into locust. You have the option of keeping the feet on the floor, or you can squeeze the glutes and raise both feet off the floor. Keep looking down towards the mat. Breathe in. Slowly lower the feet towards the floor. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes. You can lift all the way back up to your knees, or you can activate the thighs, bring the knees off the floor, lift all the way back up, and then come all the way up to your down dog. A few long breaths here. Trying to keep the inhales and exhales equal in length. The knees can be soft, weight even between the hands and the feet. And at the bottom of your next exhale, slowly lower the knees to the floor. Step the right foot forward, coming in to that kneeling lunge. Left toes are tucked. Activate the core. Bring the hands through to heart. Slowly on the next inhale, slowly come all the way up. Exhale, come into crescent. So our balance poses today are going to be our side plank and also our warrior three. We're going to just build up with our warrior three. We're going to start off with a bent knee warrior three. On your next exhale, bend the elbows, hinge forward, place the hands lightly on that right thigh. And as you inhale, slowly come all the way back up to crescent. Check that the pelvis is in neutral, activate the core. On your next exhale, bend those elbows.
And on your next exhale, hinge forward, place the hands on that thigh, press the hands down into that thigh, shift the weight forward so you come up onto your tiptoes, hold it there, slowly come back to the ball of your left foot, slowly come all the way up to crescent. Nice long inhale, and on that next long exhale, goddess arms. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward, place both hands on that right thigh, push down through to that right thigh. Press the weight forward into that, come up onto the toes of your left foot. Maybe lift the toes off the floor, maybe. Place the toes back on the floor. Slowly come all the way up to crescent. Couple of breaths here. On your next exhale, goddess arms. Activate the core. As you exhale, hinge forward, place both hands on that right thigh. Shift the weight forward onto that right leg. Come up onto the toes of the left foot. Maybe lift the toes off the floor. Maybe feeling a little bit wobbly. Keep the core activated. Point the toes of the left foot down so that foot's flexed. Don't worry if you wobble, because I'm wobbling. And then from here, try to lengthen out that right leg. Check that the hips are level. Hold that there. Maybe the toes of the left foot are on the mat, that is fine. And then slowly start to bend that right knee again. Let the left toes touch the floor. Slowly come all the way back up to crescent. Inhale, lengthen out that leg. And as you exhale, soften that knee, open all the way out and come into warrior two. Check in the base of warrior two. Gazing down that right middle finger. Then bring the left palm of the hand onto the left belly. Turn that palm, the right hand, to face the ceiling and just gaze out straight ahead so you're not gazing at the hand. Reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Side bend over towards the left, coming into your reverse warrior. And just allow the left ear to relax down towards that left shoulder. Left hand still on that belly. A few deep breaths here. Right knee still bent, pelvis in neutral, core's activated. Make sure both glutes are activated. Inhale. And as your next exhale, come back to warrior two. Place the right hand onto the belly. Reach the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Side bend over towards the right and come into a modified side angle. So maybe the right lower arm's in contact with that right thigh. And then just drop the head so you're looking down towards the floor. Maybe relaxing that right ear down towards that right shoulder. And on your next exhale, just swivel that left foot round. Allow the left hand to come in contact with the floor. Allow the left knee to come underneath that left hip. And then from here, place the right hand on that right thigh. Nice easy rotation. Allow that left ear to drop down towards that left shoulder. Keep the core activated. And then slowly bring that right leg back. Right hand is on that right hip. You can keep the right foot in contact with the floor. Check your base so that the shoulder is still over that left wrist. And you have the option of floating that right leg up and maybe point the fingertips up towards the ceiling of that right hand. Keep looking down towards the floor. Check in with the breath. Right hand catches right hip. Bend that right knee in towards the chest. Keep the foot flexed. Slowly lengthen that leg out. If it feels too much, you can lower the right foot to the floor. Right fingertips up towards the ceiling, hold it there. Right hand, right hip. Bend that right knee, so it's coming in towards the chest. Lengthen out that right leg. Fingertips point up towards the ceiling. Right hand, right hip. Keep looking down towards the mat. Bend that right knee and then just step it forward. Use your hand if you need to. And then slowly come into your kneeling lunge. Fingertips on the mat. Lovely on the spine. Activate the core. Push down through that right leg. Step the left foot forward. Hip hinge. And then slowly come all the way up to standing. Release the hands down through to heart center. Release the fingers down. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And as you exhale, hip hinge forward. Bending those knees. Keep that spine nice and long. Step the left leg back, right leg back, plank. Option to lower the knees to the floor. Check that plank. Pelvis is in neutral, shoulder blades are in neutral, core activated, glutes activated. And then slowly lower all the way down to the floor, so bending the elbows, elbows point back. Keep the pubic bone in contact with the mat, tops of the feet. Coming into locust, so slowly lengthen out the arms. Just use the arms to start off with. Checking the breath and the body. And then maybe lift the legs. Keep the glutes activated, keep the core activated. Lower the legs to the floor, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, and then push all the way up, either to down dog or up to your knees and then down dog. And we'll all meet in down dog. Few deep breaths here. Keep the inhales and exhales equal in length. Checking your base. Weight even through both the hands and both the feet, hiking up the hips, making that inverted V shape. And at the bottom of your next exhale, slowly lower the knees to the floor. Step the left foot forward in between the hands, kneeling lunge. Bring the hands through to heart center. Core's activated, and on your next inhale, slowly come all the way up, soften into crescent. Check that that pelvis is in neutral. Keep the core activated. Right glute is on. You're on your next exhale, bend the elbows, goddess arms. And as you exhale, hinge forward. Gently place both hands on that left thigh. Keep the length in the spine as you slowly come all the way up to crescent. Next exhale, goddess arms. Inhale here. Exhale. Hinge forward, place both hands onto that thigh. Shift the weight forward so you come onto the toes of your right foot. And as you inhale, slowly come all the way up to crescent. Exhale, goddess arms. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward, both hands on that left thigh. Shift the weight forward onto the toes. Maybe lift the toes slightly off the floor. Keep the length in the spine, keep looking down towards the mat. Allow the toes to touch back down. And as you inhale, come up to crescent. A few deep breaths here. On your next exhale, come to your goddess arms. Inhale. And as you exhale, hinge forward, place both hands firmly onto that left thigh. Pushing that left thigh into the hand. Activate the core, right glutes activated. Hinge forward. Shift the weight forward so you're on the toes of that right foot. Lift the toes. Keep that left knee bent. Flex the foot. Try and keep the hips level. Don't worry if you're wobbling, because I certainly am. And then slowly, if you can, start to lengthen out that left leg. Keep pushing down through that foot. Check that the hips are level. Keep the length in the spine, the core's activated. Slowly start to bend that left leg. It's tough. Allow the right toes to touch the floor. Slowly come all the way back to crescent. Inhale, lengthen out that left leg. And as you exhale, slowly come all the way back round. Open out, warrior two. And then gaze down that left middle finger. Keep the glutes activated, keep the core activated. Right palm comes to the belly. Turn the left palm to face the ceiling. Just gaze out to the side. Reach the left fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Side bend. Reverse your warrior. Keep squeezing the glutes. Keep the core activated. And just allow that right ear to drop down towards that right shoulder. Go back to your equal breath. Nice long inhale. And as you exhale, just soften back to your warrior two. Left palm comes to that left belly, the belly. Reach the right fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Side bend over to the left. Maybe the left lower arm's in contact with the left thigh. Maybe drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Maybe gaze out to the side or gaze down at the mat. And on your next exhale, start to swivel that back foot round. Lower the right hand to the floor. Lower the right knee down. Right shoulder, right wrist. Left hand on that left thigh. Nice easy rotation. Allow the right ear to relax down towards that right shoulder. Check that the core's activated. And then from here, left hand catches the left hip. And then slowly come into your modified side plank. Just check your base first. And then if it feels comfortable, just float the left foot off the floor. Just gaze down towards the mat, hold it there. And then maybe extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. Left hand catches the left hip. Bend in that left knee, bring the knee in towards the chest, the body. Extend that leg out nice and long. Now you can keep that foot on the floor, and then when you catch your hip, you can just slide the toes round if it feels too much to keep the foot elevated, and then slide it back round. And when you're ready, fingertips point up towards the ceiling, legs lifted. Left hand catches the left hip, bend that knee, step it forward. Coming into your low lunge, push down through the left foot, right foot meets the left, check that the core's activated, and then slowly come all the way up. Bring the hands down through to heart center. Release the fingertips. And just slowly heel toe the feet out a little bit wider. Activate the core. And then slowly coming into your low squat. So the hips are coming back. Keep the pelvis in neutral. Holding it here, or bring the hands through to heart center. And then, if you can, sink the hips a little bit lower. And I'm going to try to gracefully lower the seat bones to the floor and come down to seated with the feet flat on the floor and knees are bent. Don't worry if it wasn't graceful, because I'm sure mine wasn't. Take a nice deep breath in, core's activated, slowly come back. Float the right foot off the floor, place it back down. Left foot, place it back down. Slowly come all the way up, sit up nice and tall. On your next exhale, slowly come back, check that the shoulders are relaxed. Right foot float off the floor, maybe lengthen out the leg or keep it bent. Right foot comes back down, float the left foot, maybe lengthen that leg out or keep it bent. Float the left foot back down, slowly come all the way up. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, core activated. As you exhale, come back. Right foot float it off the floor, float it back down. Left foot, place that foot down, slowly come all the way up. Do that one more time, come back.
Right foot, float it back down. Left foot, float it back down. And then from here, just slowly bring the lower arms to the floor. Slowly curl all the way back down. So you're laying on your back, feet flat on the floor, knees are bent. Just a few breaths here. Check that that pelvis is in neutral, hips are level. Cross the left foot over onto the right thigh. Float that right foot off the floor, coming into your glute stretch. You can place the hands on the lower left leg. Or if it feels more comfortable for you, you can thread the hands through, maybe interlace the fingers behind the back of the right thigh. Check that both feet are flexed, upper body's nice and relaxed. And just go back to that equal breath. Inhaling for 3, exhaling for 3. Two more rounds of breath. Last round. Slowly release the hands. Float that right foot back down towards the floor. And then slowly hug that left knee in towards the body. And slowly slide the right heel out, lengthening out that right leg. Flex both feet. And then slowly start to circle the left ankle. Keeping that right leg nice and long, that right foot flex. Change direction of the ankle circles. Slowly float, slide that left heel in, left foot flat on the floor, and then release the left foot down to the floor. Place that right foot onto that left thigh. Float that left foot off the floor. Maybe have the hands on that right lower leg. Both feet are flexed, or maybe thread the hands through to the back of the left thigh, interlace the fingers, upper body's relaxed. Inhaling and exhaling for the count of 3. Keep that upper body nice and relaxed. Checking that you're on the back of the head and not the crown of the head. Two more breaths. Last one. Release the hands, float the left foot back down, and then just gently hug that right knee in, slide the left heel away from the body, lengthening out that left leg, flex both feet. Right foot, ankle circles. Change direction. Slowly slide that left foot back in. Place the right foot back on the floor. Just pause here for a moment. Check that the pelvis is in neutral, hips are level. Just relax the arms to the floor. And then just a nice, easy, gentle windscreen wiping of the knees. Just nice and easy. And then very, very slowly allow the knees to fall over towards the right. You can use your hands or you can use a block or a cushion if you need to go underneath that right leg. And then very slowly start to bring the left leg up a little bit, just so that the sole of the foot comes in contact with the mat. And just allow that right leg to relax down. The hands can be on your body, or the arms can just be, so the shoulders are relaxed, so the fingertips are pointing down, maybe the palms of the hands are in contact with the floor, facing up towards the ceiling. So the arms aren't up level with the shoulders, just relaxing down by the side. And you can keep the head and neck in neutral. Or if it feels comfortable, you can come up to the back of the head and then maybe just gently bring the head to look over that left shoulder, only if it feels comfortable on that neck. Slowly bring the head through, so it's onto the back of the head, and bring it back through to neutral. And then using the core, maybe your hands, slowly bringing the legs all the way back up, so the knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Arms are down by the side of your body, other palms down towards the floor, palms facing up. And then just gently windscreen wiping off the knees, nice and easy. And then just allow the knees to come over towards the left. That left leg comes down, and slowly bring that right knee up a little bit so the sole of the right foot comes in contact with the floor. And just keep the arms where they are, place them on your body if that feels more comfortable. Palms can face up, or palms can face down. Keep the head in neutral. A few deep breaths here. And either keep the head in neutral or come onto the back of the head. And then slowly, if it feels comfortable, start to look over the right shoulder. Eyes can be open and soft or closed. Trying to keep the breath equal in length. Slowly bring the head back through to center, bring it through to neutral. And then using the core on your hands, bring the legs all the way back up to center. Just get yourself nice and comfortable. Pelvis in neutral. Just bring your awareness to the parts of your body that are in contact with the floor, the soles of your feet, the back of your hips, your sacrum, not the lower back, just that natural curve in the lower spine, your shoulder blades, the back of your skull. Slowly float the right knee up so it's in line with the right hip. Float the left foot off the floor so the knee's in line with the hip. Slowly bring the hands to the knees and then circle the knees together in the same direction at the same time. Nice and slowly, just gently massaging that lower back. Come back so the knees are in line with the hips. Slowly change direction. And then come back so the knees are in line with the hips. You can stay here, or maybe just bring the knees in a little bit closer. Slide the hands down towards the ankles. Maybe coming to happy baby. Try and keep the tailbone in contact with the mat. Maybe you can reach the fingers just slightly up towards the outside edges of the feet. But if you can't keep the tailbone in contact with the mat, just bring the hands down to the lower legs, just below the ankle onto your shins. slowly release the feet or the legs. Slowly float the right foot back down to the floor, float the left foot down to the floor. We're going to come into Shavasana, final relaxation. If you need to grab socks or a throw to place on you or your sweatshirt, please do so. So for your Shavasana, you can stay as you are. You can allow the knees to fall in together, so not knee, and then just heel toe your feet out wide. Or you can extend the legs out nice and long so the heels are coming down towards the outside edges of the front of the mat. Allow the feet to fall open to the side. And then just allow the palms of the hands to face up towards the ceiling, relaxing the shoulders. And then just gently soften the breath. And then just bring the awareness to the parts of your body in contact with your mat, the backs of the heels, the calves, backs of the hips, the shoulder blades, the arms, backs of the hands, the back of the head. And just soften the forehead, the space between the eyebrows. Just allow the eyes to close. Soften the jaw. Allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Relax the neck, the chest, the ribs, the belly, the front of the hips, the flag towards the knee. And then just relaxing for the knees all the way down to the toes. Check that the fingers are soft. Rest, deep rest. Slowly start to bring your awareness back to the body. Parts of your body that are in contact with the mat. Slowly bring awareness to the breath flowing in and out of the nose. Stay nice and still. Start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. And slowly slide the legs a little bit close together. And if it feels comfortable on your arms, maybe extend the arms overhead. And into a nice full body stretch, flex the feet. And slowly point the toes. And slowly start to bend that right knee, slide that foot back in so it's flat on the floor. Start to bend and slide that left foot in. And then very slowly soften the arms, slowly roll onto one side and maybe use the lower arms as a pillow. And just come onto whichever side feels more comfortable for you. Keeping the eyes closed. And keeping the eyes closed, very slowly pull your way up. And come into a nice easy cross-legged. And once you get there, check that the weight's even on both seat bones. The spine's nice and long, the crown of the head pointing up towards the ceiling. Hands can be on the feet or on your knees. Bring the awareness to the breath flowing in and out of the nose. Slowly bring the palms together. Bring the hands through to heart center. Slowly bow the head towards the fingers. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you find peace within. Thank you for joining me for your practice this evening. Slowly start to flutter your eyes open so you're gazing at your fingers. And then slowly bring the head up. Thank you very much for coming this evening and joining me in the practice. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can either email me or type in. Hope you enjoyed it. Well done, Catherine, for making it to class. Any questions, you can type in now or you can email me. If anyone's interested in joining me on Sunday, I'm going to do a moon salutation, ready for the full moon. I will email you with the time that I should be doing that. But if not, it will be recorded and you can follow it at a later time. But thank you very much for joining me this evening. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.